All you have to do is hit one key. Just one key on the piano. And
Does it have to be a living person?
No.
I mean, a non-living person?
Non-living preferred.
Right now, while we're recording, if you play one note on that key, on that piano, I will play a song.
She's throwing down the gauntlet, kids. Hey, everybody. This is the Paranormal Peeps podcast. We are coming to you live. This is actually going to be a shorter episode than normal. It's kind of a teaser for you a little bit because we are in the middle of an investigation and we're taking a break to, calm our feet, throw some grub in, and talk to you fine folks because we like you. Hey, so guess where we are? Josh, where are we?
We're in prison.
Oh, we're
not in Utah.
We are in a prison, but we are not in Utah. We are in Deer Lodge, Montana. Everybody Google Deer Lodge, Montana.
It's like in the middle of nothing.
It's beautiful up here, though. Anyway, we are at the old Montana State Prison.
And this prison was built before it was even considered a state.
Before it was a state, back when it was a territory, right?
Fun
Yep.
fact.
It was the original Montana State territorial prison.
1879, is that right, Josh?
1862.
62. So obviously where we are sitting was not built in 1862. We're actually in the basement of the administration building because it's the only it's the only spot in the whole place that we have power piped into. So otherwise it's dark and
cold. There are
cold,
no heaters.
and some creepy too. So, but we've been out investigating a little bit. What are you thinking, Terry?
Nothing.
She's happy to be here.
I don't have a microphone. They're trying to silence me.
We have to share because let's just run around the room who we got here with us. This is first of all, I'm Mike. I'm the loud, obnoxious one. To my left,
It's me, Terry.
she's my wife, and to her left,
Jamie?
And Josh.
And Elisa.
and sitting back in the theater seats back there, we have Stacy and Karina. You've probably heard them back on one of the earlier episodes. They are our support. Wave, you guys.
Wave to the microphones.
They wave
Everybody
to the
see that?
microphones. Now you can all wave wherever you are. Wave back to Stacy and Karina. They appreciate it. So, just really briefly, let's talk about what kinds of things have we already seen and experienced. I mean, we were in a 12-hour lockdown, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. It's right now we're recording this. It's 10:36. So
3.5 hours.
3.5 hours in to a 12-hour investigation.
Yeah.
This is so cool.
Things were happening even when we were setting up.
Oh yeah.
So, I'll give you just a little bit of a sneak peek. Terry and I were coming down the stairs into the theater room where we're set up, and there's probably 10 stairs. And Terry was in front of me. She'd gone about halfway down the stairs. I was right behind her and not touching the top landing. And all of a sudden, we both felt a thud. I thought it was Terry. She's like, no, it wasn't me. And it wasn't me. So I went back up to try to debunk it. And if you step hard enough, that's exactly what we felt and what we heard on the landing. So while we were on the stairs, somebody thumped really loud on the top of the landing by us.
Awesome.
That's cool.
So it's not keep jingling. Sorry, guys.
No, that's all right. We're live.
Well,
live-ish.
we're on location.
Yeah. So it can be a little raw. I don't know how the audio is going to come out. It sounds pretty good so far. So.
Yeah, sounds good so far.
So, but yeah, this is Jamie and my fourth year here.
Yes.
And then this is Elisa's second year here.
Yep.
But Terry and Mike, this is your first year here at the prison. So, what was your guys' thought? Like, we did a daytime tour, so we got to see this place in the light. What was your guys' thought when you first walked in and got to see this
heard
place?
that.
Did you guys hear those
Did you guys hear that?
Yes.
Sound like somebody stepped up here,
Yeah.
thumping.
Hopefully you guys heard that.
I heard it. Did you hear it, Terry?
I felt it.
I felt it. It sounded like they came in over here.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. You're welcome to come in.
Come join.
We have these microphones here. If you want to talk to our listeners,
Breathe into them, speak into them. We got it.
say something, just not anything vulgar, please. But then again, if you want to say something vulgar, go for it. I don't.
So go ahead, Josh.
Okay. So, yeah, what was your guys' first impression walking in here in the daylight?
Me? All right. Swing this over to me. Hey.
Hey.
So it's an imposing thing. So just first of all, when we drove into town last night, we rolled in around 10, about the same time, at 10:30 last night, and drove up the main drag. And it's kind of an ominous looking feature. You know, it's got the old walls with the on the corners. You guys hear that? Mm-hmm. Is that a car?
I think so.
That was my stomach.
Okay, I heard like a. Anyway, you might hear a lot of these things while we're talking here. Yeah. All right. Wait. So the old walls are all built out of stone. I mean, you can easily just Google this and see what the pictures look like. But as you go up, it looks kind of like a medieval castle, with the guard towers are kind of like the turrets on a castle, and then you see the old cell block in there, and it's just dark and creepy. Anyway, caught walking through today. It was actually really neat. It was really fascinating. I wish we had a lot more time to stop and read every little bit of information that was there, but it was really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, what do you want? What more do you want from that?
No, that's good. But so now that the lights are out, like,
How does it feel now?
Yeah, how does it feel now?
To me, it doesn't feel any different.
It was creepy in the daylight. It's creepy in the dark.
Because just as I was walking around today, I just kept thinking, I want to come back here tonight. I want to see this in the dark. I want to see this in the dark. I want to see this in the dark. And so I don't know. We haven't spent much time out there yet. A little bit. We were in the cell blocks for a little bit earlier. And if you follow us on Instagram, you can go and watch that. We put it on Instagram TV. And walked around there, and while we were recording, we actually, in the recording, you can hear, it sounds like somebody throws a rock or a pebble down the hallway. And so we got that. Yeah, down in the cell block. So that was interesting. That was fun today already. So we've already had so much happen in such little time we've been here. So it's looking forward to see what else is going to happen the rest of the night.
For me, it hasn't been overly creepy. I'm actually surprised at how uncreepy it has been so far, how well I've handled things.
How mellow it's been.
How mellow it's been. That light just went out again?
No, your laptop went out.
Oh, laptop, never mind. Yeah, it's been pretty mellow, and honestly, I was really apprehensive to come here. Prisons and asylums, like, no. So, it's like, and I've been doing this for years, but for some reason, just prisons and asylums have always just creeped me out. And I'm surprised at how, I mean, I know they're here. I feel them around. We've talked to them so far. We're going to talk to a lot more. But to me, it's been kind of surprising just how at ease I am with them. And so that's kind of interesting. Of course, I'm not alone, and I'm not going to go alone anywhere because, buddy system.
Yeah,
That's
safety
right.
in numbers.
Safety in numbers.
Never alone.
Yeah. But, no, it's been really, really fun so far. So,
Good.
Yeah. Lisa?
What about you, Lisa? I know this is your second year returning, and what are you hoping for? Where are places you want to go most?
So for me, I think last year when we did it, I didn't get a single EVP. We had a lot of cool things that happened to us that we could hear with our ears, but I didn't catch any of it on my recording, which isn't... that's pretty normal. That's pretty normal to not be able to catch the voices that you hear with your ears on the recording. I don't know why that is. Probably different frequency or whatever that, I don't know. So I'm really hoping this go around that I'll get EVPs. I'm really hoping for that.
Just so you guys know, that was Josh a second ago that did a big inhale. He yawned. So for everybody at home going, I heard EVP.
He's already yawning, and we're like 3.5 hours in, Josh.
Yeah.
You're in
We got
trouble.
a long night.
I was yawning an hour ago.
So I didn't want to cut you out.
But I got
that's
energy
okay.
drinks and caffeine, so I'm going to be good tonight.
But the places that I'm looking forward to is the Death Tower, for sure.
Definitely.
And maximum security, where the women were held.
See, and those are two places. Well, the Death Tower we couldn't get to during the daytime tour.
And the Death Tower last year, I didn't get to go into either.
So the feeling up there might be completely different than everywhere else we've been, because the story about what happened up there, which we will tell you on the next episode, we'll go into more detail about that. But what happened up there, I think there's going to be a lot more energy up there versus everywhere else we've been.
I just don't want to go climb all the stairs.
Hopefully it'll be
right.
worth it.
3 flights of stairs, you're like, oh my gosh. Like, come on now, this is killing me.
You just take it slow, one step at a time.
Yeah. They're awkward stairs, so.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Go
recommend
slow.
taking them. Try to take them 2 at a time.
So yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. Hoping for that.
Awesome. What about you, Josh? Since we've been here, this is our 4th year in a row.
Yeah, 4th year.
What are you thinking?
You know, I'm looking at getting to some of the places we haven't been yet. Like, so I've been up in the Death Tower. I've been in Max. I've been in the 1912 cell block. We went to the warden's office last year. It was open to us for the first time. But there's a section that is the old library. And that is off limits to the public during daytime hours. And so I'm really looking forward to going in there and checking it out. And then we already went to one place that we didn't get to go to last time either, which was the prison life exhibit. But I already got to go in there already tonight. So now I just got one more to cross off the list. So what about you?
I have no idea. I kind of want to go everywhere. I don't think that I've ever really investigated in depth in any one place. So, I'd like to try and cram it all in, but you think 12 hours, that's enough to do it, but it's just not.
Yeah, this place is huge.
It's huge, and look at how much time's already gone by,
Yeah, you can't waste a single moment here.
So I'm
No.
going to have to pick and choose, and I'm not quite sure yet what that might be. Yeah.
I think the one place I'm super bummed about is the burned out theater. That is
Oh,
off limits to
yes.
us this year. This is most of the walls in this place was built in the early 1900s. I think the theater was built in 1919, and it's falling apart. Like, things are coming down. They're doing their best to keep this place together, and they've got great staff working on it. But that roof is coming down, and so they're working their butts off to save it.
Mm-hmm.
So what's inside the burnt down theater that you wanted to see, Josh?
So there is a traveling gallows inside the burnt out theater, and
Famous galloping gallows.
Yeah, and explain what traveling gallows means.
so in the glorious state of Montana, the execution method has been hanging for forever, and so these small towns, they don't have the finances or the ability to have a full-time like death chamber or gallows available to them. So there's this traveling gallows which is here, and they would take it to these other towns, these other areas where their executions were to take place, and they'd execute the person on the gallows and then move it around. 16 people have lost their lives on those gallows, and they're still in the theater right now. Unfortunately, that place is locked up. So hopefully they save the roof. When we come back, we get a chance to go in there again.
Do that one.
Yeah, my stomach again.
Boy, you better put something in
We need to
that.
get you some food.
Oh yeah, I wish it was that. Just go with that one. McDonald's does not agree with me, but I tell you what, it's better than oyster soup.
Oh man, so last year when we came, Josh had oyster soup, which we're nowhere near the ocean,
No.
or where you would get oysters. So he had some tummy troubles
Yeah,
last year.
During our investigation. Yeah.
it wasn't good.
No, it was not good.
But what was your guys' favorite experience that you have had in the past here at the Montana State Prison?
Most favorite?
Yeah, what is your
Ooh.
favorite experience that you've had, or most memorable?
You know what? Most memorable is the first investigation we did here. So we got here and we did an investigation in November, and it was 18 degrees outside, and it snowed 1.5 feet that morning. And so by the time we got to come investigate, there was 1.5 feet layer of snow on the ground. But what was really cool is when we came out of the gift shop and we came out onto the area right where the old gymnasium area was at, this big concrete slab. There was a path of footprints in the snow, and
Oh, yeah.
the guard she was out there. The gal that was taking us around, she was out there prior to that, and she said these were not here. This was just fresh fallen snow before.
And isn't that in the video that you guys have?
Yeah, that's in our
Yes.
YouTube video.
Yes, so go check that out.
Yeah, go check it out. And it was 16 seconds into our very first time here, and we got our first EVP. So
So what did the EVP say?
gotcha.
Well, exactly what it said was, so Josh, he follows these footprints, right? And it leads to over one of the corner parts where there's one of the towers over there, and the guard towers. And he's like, huh. And so he turns around as he's coming back. You hear a male voice say, gotcha, cha, cha, cha.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then 10 seconds after, they got our second EVP, which
My
was
word.
which was Help Me.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Yeah,
And we
it's-
think that's associated to, so they used to have a prison cemetery over there. They removed the bodies a few years later, but they didn't find them all. And so the security guard, she had said when the sprinkler system comes on, she goes, a lot of times when they're investigating, they would come up with, like, they get an EVP that says, help, help, drowning, when those sprinklers were going.
yeah. So
And we think that's where the help come, our second EVP, because we got it right in that area. And it was a female voice saying help.
And that's what we heard a lot last year
Yes.
was the females speaking, and then we would hear crying, and
Yeah,
yeah, that was cool.
that was
what,
awesome.
What was your favorite moment?
Favorite.
There's a lot. So
There's a lot. Mine, I would have to say, was the very first year with all the snow and the cold. So we were going on the tour. We were over in maximum security. And at that point, I'm feeling drained. You know, we had, Josh and I had our son with us. And for a while, he was leaning on my shoulder. And I felt like he just drained me because he was scared. And so I felt like, you know, him lean on me and touch me was just draining my energy. So he walked over and he stood by one of the other gals that was given the tour. And I was kind of standing in the middle of the floor on my own. And I had my hands in my pocket and my head down, looking down at my feet. And I was cold. It was freezing cold. I thought Josh had walked up to me. You know, and Josh is 6'1". And, you know, so I thought he'd walked up to me and his chest, like, touched me on the right shoulder. And I said, is that you? And a male voice said, uh-huh. And so I was like, okay, it's Josh. But then all the hair on my arms and my neck started standing up. And so I took one of my hands out of my pocket with my flashlight and I turned it on down at my feet. I could see my feet and I moved it over and there was nobody next to me. And so I looked and Josh was like, I don't know, you were quite a ways away from me.
about 10 feet.
Yeah. And I said, Josh, were you just over here? And he's like, no, that was, you know, I wasn't there. And I didn't believe him for like the longest time until we reviewed our footage. And he proved to me that he was nowhere near me when that happened.
You guys going out now?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Just make a run for it. Just run.
We're
Just
gonna
go.
say
Just go.
goodbye to
Stacy
Stacy and Karina. They're gonna head back out and do some more investigating. They don't want to listen to us talk.
No, they're like, these guys are boring.
Have fun, you guys.
Hey, you got a walkie on you? Okay.
Okay, Elisa. So this is your second time, like we've said. What? So last year, what was your favorite thing that happened, if you had one?
Probably when we first got there, Jamie and I went over to the cell blocks, and she had me close my eyes because she didn't want to see where I was going, and turn my back against a cell block, and I could open my eyes at that point. And she was like, "Okay, now tell me what you feel," because I tend to feel spirits and their energies, and so she's like, "Tell me what you feel," and I was like, "Well, I feel like there's a younger guy, a younger male, and talking about his energy and things." And she was standing up against the wall, probably like 5-6 feet away from me. More than that?
I think it was a little more than that, but yeah.
Yeah. So she's away from me, and as I'm up against the cell block, tell them what you saw.
So I see this darker than dark, I mean just blacker than black figure of a person. And he's in this jail cell and he's like going from one side to the next, like
Zipping past.
zipping back and forth, back and forth. And every so often, he would stop and then rush up on Elisa's back against those bars. And then he'd slowly back away, and then it would start again. And I mean, that scared me because I had never seen anything quite like that.
Yeah.
And so that was really...
Yeah, because I got the feeling that I had he was angry. He was kind of a menace. And then, but what we had found out, like what I had found out later, and I was like, am I right? And she's like, well. And come to find out for me, he was older when he died there. But he also, when he was older, his mind, did he have dementia or Alzheimer's?
We think it was like dementia.
Dementia.
Or something, yeah.
Kind of went a
And-
little nutty.
Yeah. And kind of turned into a kid again.
Yes.
And so that's the feeling that I got while we were there. So I wasn't wrong when we were there. And that first one, she was like, well, because he's older.
Is this the same one that we stopped and looked at his cell?
Yeah.
Yes.
With all the stuff in it?
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and in his cell, they have a portrait of a younger him and an older him.
yeah.
They do.
But
So,
what I felt
yeah.
was the younger.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was crazy because you could totally feel that energy and you could really feel all of the anxiousness that he had. It was pretty intense. It was kind of cool.
Yeah, he was like a caged animal in there.
Yeah, I could feel it because I could feel the intention behind his coming up and rushing up behind me.
Yeah. Honestly, that scared me. I wasn't expecting to see that.
I was like, I'm fine, just keep going. So that was my favorite, I think.
Definitely memorable.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, everybody, we're going to get back out there, and we're going to go have some fun.
Once again, coldspot_paranormal_research. Please make a note of it.
Write it down.
Yeah, on Instagram.
And number
You can-
544. No. Go on Instagram. Terry and Elisa and I were all live out there, so go check out that video. We'll probably try to do another one here in a little bit. So hopefully you've seen those by now, because you'll be hearing this, like what, next week?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
so it'll be like a week old.
It'll be 4 days.
We'll be back at work by then.
Yep, and then hopefully after
Don't
yeah.
remind me.
Hopefully after that you'll get the next podcast where we get to talk about all of our experiences. So hopefully we have some cool things happen.
Yeah, I'll give you a
Absolutely.
little bit more of a history of it and stories and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, stories. I love stories.
It's story time, folks.
Story time.
Well, thanks for listening.
Thank you, guys.
Be safe out there.
So before we had a chance to sit down and record the episode, Jamie and I sat down and talked with Travis, who is a co-worker of mine. Okay, so we have Travis here with us. Travis works with me during my daytime job, and this is Travis's first ever paranormal investigation. So, why don't you just kind of explain how it went a little bit for you there, Travis?
Yeah. So, we met here at the Montana State Prison, and we went to a few different rooms. The first one was the maximum security. Second was more of just, I guess it was the hospital, if I'm remembering right. And then we went into the lockup for problem prisoners, right, in the Siberia ward.
Yep, East Siberia, yeah.
And so that was cool. We were able to do two different things. We used the dowsing rods to ask some, yes or no questions, and we got a lot of activity from that. And then we also used the audio and video recorders just to kind of ask some general questions if we can pick up anything. So that was a good time.
Good. So what do you think of the dowsing rods?
Yeah, that was interesting. I've heard of those and seen them before. So seeing how much activity that you picked up, a lot of yes and no questions, it was good to see.
Okay.
So, have you ever seen or heard of the old Montana State Prison before?
Yeah. Growing up in Montana, and going to school in Bozeman, I would drive past, but I've never actually been in it before. So this was also just a cool experience to be able to come in and take a look at it.
Right. So first impressions when you pulled up and walked in.
Well, the outside is like a castle with the big wall around everything,
Exactly,
right? So
right.
there's that. And then, Josh toured me around when I first got here, and we looked at a few different areas, the theater, and just kind of the history of some of the incidents on at the prison, like the inmates taking over, a wing and the National Guard being pulled in, right? And even,
absolutely.
Using bazooka on the outside of the building, right?
Did he show you where that hit?
We saw that, so
Yeah.
that was pretty interesting. That was cool.
Awesome. So you guys went to Maximum, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
So this is generally where the women prisoners were held.
Yeah, so it was a dual purpose area. So it started out as a women's prison.
Yes.
Because when you come here, you see it's on the opposite side of the big walls, and so it's like this whole like annex area. And so that it started out as a women's prison, and then as when the women got their own prison, and the male prison population kept growing, they ended up putting that as maximum security.
Right. Any luck in there, guys? Anything happen at all?
We we switched to the dowsing rods, and we got some some questions answered, so that was good. Yeah.
Yeah, we briefly talked with a female spirit who's in one of the cells, and she didn't like Travis.
Really?
Yeah.
No like, huh?
No like. Dislike. Yep.
Yeah, did not like Travis. And so she asked us to leave.
And you listened?
Yeah, we listened.
Yep.
We always try to be respectful. It depends on the spirit we're communicating with, too.
Oh,
Sometimes
absolutely.
you got those kind of a-holes, and you're just like, well, I'm just going to push you just a little bit further. But, with certain ones, you're just like, okay, we'll leave. I know we've done that before.
Oh,
in the
yeah.
1912 cell block. Remember, we're like, hey, if you want us to leave, let us know. And they're like, yeah, we want you to leave. And we left, but what was it, 15 minutes later, we just came right back.
Yeah,
So.
we didn't stay gone long.
No, never do.
No. So, and then when we went, so the second place we ended up stopping was what the prison life exhibit. And that was an interesting one. So we actually did a dowsing rod session in there.
Okay.
And it's kind of we did a really quick EVP session, maybe like 4 or 5 questions, and it's like, you know what, let's just do the dowsing rods. And what's neat is we ended up talking with William Hayes.
Okay, so explain who this is.
So William Hayes and George Rock ended up killing the first deputy warden and almost killed the first warden. And they were both hung, and their necks didn't break, and so they ended up strangling to death.
Okay, but what gallows was this off of? Was this the jerk up method?
Yeah, that's the jerk up
okay.
method.
And you might want to explain that because
Okay.
people may not understand what that is.
So most of the methods that we're familiar with is what's the drop door method or the drop method. That's a much more recent activity because it was more humane, right? They just determined how far of a rope to give you and give you enough rope, and once you dropped, it would break your neck. So before that, they had what's called the jerk up method. And so what they would do is basically take some weights and put up the end of a rope, and they'd put the noose around the person's neck, and they would drop the weights. And they'd have to put the right amount of weight on the end of the rope to make sure that their neck broke.
That there was enough force.
Right. But for George Rock and Hayes, because of the people that they murdered, the people who were conducting the executions intentionally changed the weight. And so that they knew they were not going to break their neck.
They were going to suffer.
They were going to suffer.
Right.
And so that was intentional. The interesting thing is, though, through the dowsing rods, Hayes has no regrets for killing the warden.
None, huh?
None. He's actually glad he did it. He said the warden was crooked and a very dishonest man, and he deserved to die.
Ooh, that's juicy.
Right? So, yeah, that was a very interesting, quick conversation. So, but during that section, right, we did ask the dowsing rods to point to where he was standing, and he was actually standing in, right in front of us. And so I reached out my hand. I could feel the cold spot that he was generating, And I had Travis do that.
Travis, were you able to feel it as well?
Yeah, there was definitely a cool area right in front of us, so pretty interesting.
Nice.
Yeah.
So from there, where did you guys go? Did you go anywhere else, or was
Yeah.
that just kind of it?
No, they went to East Siberia. So, East and West Siberia, for those of you who don't know, are two locations on the outside of the towers of the 1912 cell block. And they're called Siberia because there's only one heater in each of them. And they were not very effective on the heating of the area. And so it was very, very cold in the winter. If you can imagine, for those of you who don't know, Montana can get very cold in the wintertime, especially in Deer Lodge, Montana, where we're at. In November, when we were here one year, it was 18 degrees, and it definitely drops below zero. So imagine, 5, 6, 7 below zero, and like a barely enough heat to keep you warm, basically enough to keep you alive.
No thanks.
Yeah, right? So, Travis, all in all, would you do this again?
For longer, though?
Right, yeah. No, I think it would be fun. This was just a short trip to, meet you and just kind of check out the prison and try a new experience. Being able to stay longer would be pretty cool, just to explore more of the area and, try different things and learn more about it. So, yeah.
More techniques and more about the equipment
Yeah.
and the process. Yeah.
So, Travis, thanks for coming and hanging out with us tonight.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, and you have a safe drive home.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in and listening to our on-location podcast at the Old Montana State Prison. You can check out those live videos on Instagram at coldspot_paranormal_research. And you can also check out some videos and pictures that we posted also on Facebook at Cold Spot Paranormal Research. Stay ghosty, my peeps. Thank you for listening to the Paranormal Peeps podcast. You can find us on social media at Twitter at CPR Paranormal, on Facebook at Paranormal Peeps Podcast and Cold Spot Paranormal Research. And you can find us on Instagram at coldspot_paranormal_research.